Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Man Bites Media. And today we're going to be going into an in-depth discussion about the chilling adventures of Sabrina. This is the new Netflix original show. And I got two awesome guests with me. One that you've always heard on here. You know, you're probably bored of his voice already and his little banter.
Thanks.
Brandon. And
Hello.
then I got a special guest that has like a superhero name. This is the first time she's on with Man Bites Media. It's Amber Love.
That is a very superhero name.
Right?
Thank you. I try.
Yeah.
But you can find me at Rose Love Cosplay, Rose_Love_cosplay. I'm on Instagram and also on Facebook. So yeah,
Awesome.
I just came up with good things.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah,
Awesome.
And let's go straight into this thing. What do you guys overall rating of this show? What do you want to give this one?
Jesus. You're diving head first like this already?
Of course, man. Always. Come on now.
I'll give shit, this is hard. This is really hard.
I'll start off with mine. I'll shoot it straight into a 7. Honestly,
7.
Yeah, I thought this was a fantastic show. It had its pacing issues in certain episodes, but honestly,
yeah, there were definitely episodes that like were not that great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call them filler. There is interesting parts. They just slowed the plot way down, and it could have been cut. A lot of the scenes, so it wasn't filler necessarily because I liked what I saw and I liked what they did, but it was kind of pointless. And I was like, "Let's go, come on! I want to see more."
This is definitely one of those shows that the entire season was good. I enjoyed it. I'd give it like an 8, but I feel like ironically the best episode is probably the pilot.
Yeah, pilot was really good.
Yeah, the pilot sets the mood very, very much for the show. So
yes,
for anyone that doesn't know, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is based off of, if you're a 90s kid or you were born in the 80s, you've probably seen or heard of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was a sitcom in the 90s. Very different.
It was a comic book.
Yeah. It's a comic book.
This is based on. This is not based on the TV show, which was...
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you, that TV show started my obsession with Melissa Joan Hart and
and Clarissa Explains It All and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude. I have those DVDs. I own those DVDs because that was like my celebrity crush when I was a kid. So, yeah. So that's... It's completely different from that. So don't expect it to be that. Yeah. This is way darker.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Amber. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's okay. It's like someone said, it's another dimension. It's based off the comic mainly, and comics very different than the easy comedy. It's a sitcom, really. It's the Sabrina Teenage Witch. This one, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, is more like a dark dimension of that, exactly, because it's less funny. It's more scary and drama filled than anything else. It's really dark, but I liked it. It wasn't too bad. I mean, there's some points where I didn't like it lag a bit, but it wasn't too bad. It was entertaining.
I definitely think that this is it's a comedy, I feel like, but it's a dark comedy. It's very dry and to the point. So this show takes place in the same universe as the CW show Riverdale, which is based off of the Archie comic books. They are in the comics also that they are based off of. They all are all in the same universe.
I didn't know that. I was like, what? Archie's in the same thing as Sabrina. That kind of blew my mind for a little bit there. I was like, what?
And there's actually really cool. For the last 5 years, they started. So Archie has been in publication for. I honestly don't even know how long. I would say probably the 60s or maybe even later than that or earlier than that. Sorry. And in 2013, they started this thing called Afterlife with Archie, I think it's called. Let me look it up before I make an ass out of myself and say the wrong thing. It is Afterlife with Archie.
Make an ass of yourself.
So Afterlife with Archie started this basic. It's like these one-off comic books where Afterlife with Archie is basically Jughead's dog basically bites Jughead, and then he basically starts the zombie apocalypse in Riverdale.
What?
Wow.
It's really good. And there's actually a comic book that is still in publication today that is called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina also. They both have they come out like once in a blue moon. So even though they've been in publication for like 5 years, they only have like 12 or 13 issues. So it's definitely doable for anyone that wants to get into it and read it.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
And then there's also other ones called Vampironica, which is Veronica's a vampire. Jughead the Hunger, where Jughead is basically eating everyone in Riverdale.
Dude, when I think of Archie, the only thing I could think of is that scene in Chasing Amy where they're talking about the Archie comics, and I lose my shit every time. I can never take it serious. So forever it's known as the really flamboyantly closet gay guy trying to hit on the other gay guy, and oh my god, that whole conspiracy theory that
I like Archie
Amy
comics.
created.
I like Archie comics. I would read them as a kid. Like sometimes I would go to like a supermarket with my grandmother, and the comics are super cheap. I think they're like less than $1 or something like that.
Oh wow.
So I would ask my grandma like, "Hey, can I buy them?" And they're just like comedy. They're little like Sunday Sunday newspaper like comics like Garfield and all stuff.
Yeah.
Basically in the same vein as that.
This is a lot more darker, a lot more twisted. I think this is more comparable to like Buffy the Vampire mixed with kind of like Charmed or something like that. It's kind of a mixture of those two TV shows. But taken a lot darker and a lot more graphic than I thought they would go, honestly. There's some scenes there that are just, wow. I was like, okay, we're going there. That's awesome.
I felt bad when I laughed at a couple scenes. I'm like, I don't know if I was supposed to laugh because this is so dark. I don't know if I should laugh out this. Because I watch so many scary movies and horror films. I'm like, I don't know if I should laugh or not. It's just so dark. It's good though.
Actually, did you know that they got sued by the actual church of the Satanic Church, basically?
Yes, I heard about that. I saw an article on my Facebook right away. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, I think they took the I know it sounds funny, but it's actually really bad if you think about it. They took their statue that was I think it was I'm trying to remember what you call it, legal rights. They have the legal rights to their statue inside their actual temple, like the actual big temple, and they took the whole thing and created it in the film. I don't know how actual exact like it looks like. I thought like that looks so familiar because I went to world religions class, and Satanism was one of them that we learned, and I'm like, it looks really familiar. And
it's pretty spot on. I'll tell you that much. It's pretty spot on.
I think it's by the way, for anyone that has watched the show and doesn't know, it's the statue in the is it the fourth or fifth scene
when she goes to the dark school?
Yeah, it's in the Academy of Unseen Arts. It's the one in the lobby.
It's the main one. The one that bleeds at some point.
Yeah, the one that bleeds, yes. So basically the Satanic Church, the head of the Satanic Church, sued the show because he said that they were basically saying that Satanism basically made you do bad stuff and evil stuff, and that's not what their message is. And
which is very true. Which is very true. But I mean, that's been Hollywoodized in every film ever made. So people got to get the stick out of their ass, especially the Satanic Church.
But
I do feel bad about that. It's like, it sounds awful though. It's kind of like going out of church real fast, and it's like, ooh. And there's only it's really hard because there's only like one main direct church too. That's why I feel bad. Just because I went to world religions class, and that was one of the subjects we covered, and everyone in class was against it. And I kind of learned. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know because they're actually not like scary and stuff like that. It's just they're seen as scary, and entertainment industry, kind of like mythology. It's like off the walls, read books, but. I don't know. That's why it's so dark, though. You think about it. They just went to the cult version of Sabrina, and it's really surprising, you know?
Yeah, it's a comic book. I mean, they cannot be making that such a big deal. It's ridiculous, honestly, that they've taken it that far. But
hey, I wanted to ask you something film-wise about the show, which I actually found very interesting. Did you guys notice that the the scenes were always blurred on the outlines.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That was very distracting. That was probably one of my biggest critiques.
I thought it was pretty cool because it matched, but I'm like, oh, that's really weird.
I don't know. To me, it wasn't distracting. It made me pay attention to what the scene was. It was usually there were characters in the scene or something, or the house.
Yeah,
it was something to show it off. It was weird. I completely agree with you.
I don't know. It was like, you know, that feeling that you got when you first watched the Hobbit movies, that distraction of that frame rate and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's how I felt watching that. It was disorienting. It was like, oh God, my eyes will never get used to this. I'm like, get in focus. Come on. I want to smack the screen and like, come on, go in focus.
Can I ask you guys, since you brought it up earlier, Lewis, what's the episode that you least enjoyed out of the 10?
Oh gosh, I don't really direct one episode or another. I don't know. Yeah. Every episode has some kind of loophole. Like there's something missing where you had a question about the scene, about either the characters or like the main things that happened during it. I was like, wait, what happened to this? What happened to that? It's just kind of a loophole. But I really can't direct just one episode. Just something that had plot holes to it. I think the first episode was good, and the last episode kind of tied it in. But every single episode, I felt like there was a loophole somewhere in there. I'm like, what? I don't understand this. I guess I read the comics too. I feel bad. I didn't.
The episode the first episode that I really like, it wasn't bad per se, but I was like, was the one with the baddie bat. The basically the sleeping, the thing that takes.
I like that guy. That guy was cool, man.
That guy was creepy as shit, by the way.
That guy was awesome. It reminded me of like the what do you call it, the Dream Doctor from Doctor Who. I was like,
it's also Freddy Krueger and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Charmed a lot. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And Buffy.
Charmed so much. I love Charmed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's. I'm like, what? It's Charmed.
That was way too. I was too young for Charmed. I never really.
I love Charmed. Come on.
Sorry, I grew up with it. Even when I got older. I had
no, it's okay. I just. But I feel also that the show definitely does pick up and tie things up towards the end. Like the last 3 episodes are very like. I don't know.
I thought they were rushed.
Yeah.
I thought they were kind of rushed.
They were. Really? They tied in, but they were rushed. I do agree with all of it.
It just felt like they were trying to wrap up all these loose ends just in case if they didn't get a second season. And they could have expanded out a lot of that and cut out a lot of the fat that they had in the previous episodes.
The finale felt rushed as all hell.
Yeah.
I liked the finale. I did. But, like, you know, it starts off with Miss Wardwell or whatever. Spoilers, by the way. By the way, spoilers. We're gonna go into spoilers, so I don't want to like anyone to be pissed listening to this. But Miss Wardwell or A.K. Lilith, when she's like, when you don't know who she's talking to, and she starts talking about the 13 witches or whatever, you're like, what the? Where did this come from all of a sudden? Like,
I don't know.
It happens real quick.
I don't really know. I was thinking she was talking to Finlay the whole time. I have no idea, but she killed her familiar. Spoiler alert, but I'm like. So I'm like, is she talk? I don't know. It's just there's a lot of loopholes. I understand.
Yeah,
like,
they did bring it up earlier. They brought it up in like 5 episodes. They actually brought up the 13 witches.
I know they did, but like it happened out of nowhere. Where like at least I don't know. In my opinion, like maybe set it up over the course of like 2 or 3 episodes where she's like, all right, I'm trying to bring back the 13 witches to create chaos in Greendale.
Oh, but that would have given away the whole suspense.
Yeah, I guess.
I think that if they would have cut out the whole scene with Harvey's brother, that was an unnecessary plot that was kind of off and just
they could have shrunk it a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, like that. I couldn't pinpoint one episode that I didn't like, but that whole plot line was unnecessary, I think.
What, like bringing him back and all, or him dying?
Yeah, that was just kind of lame, and then it just gave the 3 sisters a way to get back together, and I was like, they could have just stayed together in the first place.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't like, that like Prudence just all of a sudden is like, Dorca, you're fine, like we're all good and shit, and that's like, dude, she was a bitch.
Yeah,
they both were.
Even at the end, I'm like, no, you're good. You're on your own. I'm on my own. Bye.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, like she was a bitch. Like, why would you be friends with her? What the hell's the point of that?
Oh, that was horrible.
Yo, what's up? What's going on with Prudence's hair, dude? The entire show, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with your hair?
No.
It's like waves. I'm
Yeah.
like, it looks weird but cool at the same. I don't know, man. I don't know.
She must have kept up with it the whole time. I couldn't do that. I mean, there have a couple episodes where I'd be just so out of my hair, and then we put the wig in. Wow, wow, that's like I gotta get around for that. Wow, I can't do that.
And another thing, I wanted to see the Soul Crusher so bad. The thing that like finally kills Tommy.
Oh hell no! No! That was cool the way they did it.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, like what is that thing, man?
I love that they didn't show it. That was the coolest thing. I love suspense and horror movies that don't show the villain. I mean, Jaws is one of the ultimate badass scenes is because of the suspense and buildup that it did because they didn't show the actual shark. That was so cool. And this did the same thing. I love that aspect of it. I don't like seeing the villains because a lot of times it's going to become very disappointing. And you're kind of like, oh, that's it? That's all it was?
I mean, it wasn't too bad with their. I don't know if it's CGI or what kind of theatrics they did, but I thought it wasn't too bad how they did that. I thought for the budget they're worth, it actually wasn't too bad for that part. I wish it was shown just like a shadow or something of the Soul Crusher, and that's it. I'm like, that would have been pretty interesting, and you don't really see it. I'm like, oh gosh, so you have no idea what it is, but it's there. And it's like, what? Yeah, I wish I would have done that. It's like, oh.
I like the scene when she walks out of limbo and she just has like Tommy's arm and then it just like goes away, basically, like disintegrates.
Yeah, pulled in Avengers.
Yeah, basically. I don't feel good. And then what do you guys...
It might be part of the Avengers world. Watch out.
I know. Oh my god.
What do you... Yeah, that's the exact moment that Thanos snapped his fingers is when Tommy died. His soul just went to shit. What did you guys think of Hilda, Zelda, and Ambrose?
I love Ambrose. Ambrose was my favorite character in this.
He was mine.
Amber's like, yeah, I approve.
I know, because he was just, I don't know, he tightened everything to me anyway. He was pretty good. I liked him as an add-on character. That was good. He should stay in, I say for sure, if he goes to situation.
And he's a badass. I mean, Ryan is a badass.
The entire time I'm asking him, like, wait, this guy tried to blow up the Vatican. Like, what?
Who does that?
Right? Like, and he did it for somebody that he loved. So it was probably a whole love affair thing, and that's why he doesn't want to reveal who it is, which that makes it even cooler. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty badass, dude. Babe, can you blow up the Vatican for me? Okay.
Oh gosh.
I liked Ambrose a lot. Actually, fun fact about the guy that plays Ambrose. This is, I think, the second thing he's ever acted in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a lot of things under his belt.
Yeah, and this is his first major thing because everything.
Yeah, this is like his first major thing. Yeah,
literally TV movies and shorts.
That's really cool.
I liked the relationship of Hilda and Zelda, like how different they are from each other.
Yeah,
I love the fact that what do you call it? She kills her all the time. That is the coolest thing.
She's coming back, and then gets Sabrina to go kill someone. It's like, oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, like
every time.
Hilda's so nice and so naive, and Zelda's just so mean.
Yeah.
They're just the complete opposites of each other. And I love how Zelda always has like the little roach killer, like with the cigarette in it, and she's like super fancy.
Yeah.
The entire show feels very much like this town is in this perpetual Halloween.
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah. It's in like their houses. God, I would hate to live in a house like that.
Oh, are you kidding? That is the coolest thing. I've stayed at bed and breakfast that are just like that in like haunted houses that are very similar to that when we went on our little road trip. And let me tell you, that was the coolest thing. It was awesome going from house to house to what do you call it, room to room. And you hear like the boards creaking underneath you. And you're like, the house is all built out of wood. This is so cool. And this house is like 200 something years old. How awesome is that? You know, it's like,
No, thank you. No, thank you. So actually, cool. I was reading up right now. The guy that plays Ambrose, his name is Chance Perdomo. he actually auditioned for the role of Jughead on Riverdale. He didn't get the role, of course. But Robert Aguirre Sacasa, the showrunner, the Riverdale showrunner, was so taken by his audition that he wrote the role of Ambrose Spellman with Perdomo in mind.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah. So Perdomo, he made because I don't think Ambrose is a character. I don't know about in the comic, but in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the comic show,
there's mentions of her in the show, like randomly about this distant cousin that got into trouble or something, but never you never really see them, I think.
Oh, also, what did you guys think of Salem and that he never talks? Because I read up a lot of people that they were pissed about that. They were like, "Why doesn't he talk?" And I'm like, I find it fine that he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
I think the actors thought it was fine too that he didn't talk. They said it was like a little rabbit-looking, put ears on it, make it like cat whiskers, kind of like the device they'll use, which is funny and cute. Think about the original Teenage Witch one. So I don't know. I feel like Cat was talking in cat form, so that wasn't too bad.
No, like Sabrina understands. I feel like every warlock and witch understands their familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see it with Wardwell that she talks to the crow, which I forget the crow's name.
Which is awesome. Oh my god.
Yeah. Can I point out the crow talked at the end? Like, how did that happen?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely.
And she was Lilith. I'm like, how? What? That's as a giant loophole to understand. I'm like, why?
No, I feel like maybe they did it for like the crow isn't actually talking, but maybe so there's like context to their conversation. The director was like, all right, for this scene alone, you're gonna be able to understand this crow. Not that he's actually talking. It's only Wardwell that hears the crow. It's just for the sake of the scene, I guess.
They should have done subtitles or something to keep it continuous and the continuity of it. But let's talk about Michelle Gomez and the amazing role that she took on with this. Because let me tell you, she is probably right behind Ambrose. She is my favorite character. And it's a very close competition between those two. Because, first of all, I love her as Missy in Doctor Who.
Of course, bro.
And
I was waiting for you to bring this up.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. And then when I saw her in this role, because I didn't even know she was in this at all. When I saw it, I posted it on Facebook. I was like, oh my God, Missy's in Chilling Adventures. Holy crap. And I lost my shit because she did the mastermind role. And I was like, wow, this is great. I couldn't believe how well she did this. And it's going to be very hard to imagine another character doing something similar to this if they ever do it like a second season or something like that and they don't go with her.
Have they, is it coming back? I don't know.
They haven't announced yet. Not officially. I want to see why not.
No, yeah, it has a really good rating. I think it doesn't mean anything, but like on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it has like a 90. It's like, it's very, like, it's highly praised.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It really is. And let me tell you, this is the year of Netflix originals. They've done a phenomenal job of releasing original material and making it really substantive, and just awesome stuff, awesome material, risky material, and going really out there and allowing people to really explore like the depths of their imagination, which is pretty awesome.
Can we pour one out for the homie that's not showing up this year, and that is season 3 of Stranger Things?
Yep.
Pour one out for the homies.
Yeah.
Because they say it's coming out like mid next year. I'm like, dude, these kids are getting older by the day, man. You gotta get on the roll here, my friends.
Yeah.
Come on.
Seriously.
But also, other than Michelle Gomez, what about Miranda Otto, man?
Come on.
Like, yeah, I want some Elwyn in there,
Oh,
yeah, come on.
Dude. No, like, I will say that this is an all-star cast. They are really great. The acting is pretty spot on. I think maybe I could say 1 or 2 actors that are not, like, really good, but those are, like, not major actors. They're background actors. They're not anything. The major cast is phenomenal in this show. They really do a good job, and they chose them perfectly.
What'd you think, since you're saying background character, like, what'd you think of Roz Susie, Harvey.
Susie, I didn't buy into until mid-season.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah.
It was a good surprise. I'm like, what?
When they gave her that twist, with the background and all that stuff, I wish they would have done that earlier to develop her character quickly, because she would have been on my radar immediately from the beginning. But she was kind of faulty at the beginning and kind of like lame. She didn't have a personality.
The one story thread that I felt like, I don't know, maybe it was just me personally. Maybe I wasn't paying attention when they explained it, or it just went over my head. But when Roz finds out that she's gonna go blind, I thought that it was Wardwell that put a curse on her.
No.
And then they explain it that it's just that her family, the women, tend to go blind. But I was like, was that explained, or was I not?
Wardwell knew about it already. She knew about it because she's the demon
devil. Yeah,
she's the demon queen. So she's aware of this talent. It's been on their radar forever.
To me, like it felt like they made it seem like she was the one that cursed Roz, and I was like, and then later it comes out that it's just her family. It's a genetic thing.
I think she might have put it and pushed it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, something confused me like that. I was like, what? How'd this happen?
Yeah, it happens out of nowhere, and I was like, was I not paying attention properly? Like, what the hell's going on?
There's a lot of left field. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of the left field. And I mean, you kind of appreciate it, and you could kind of, all right, I'll go with it. Sure.
Yeah, go with the flow of it.
Yeah.
The girl that plays Sabrina, Kiernan Shipka, she's 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's super young. She actually, I haven't seen Mad Men. She was a character on Mad Men for 7 years.
Yeah.
Or 8 years, my apologies. And also, for my Legend of Korra fans out there, she's the voice of Jinora.
Oh.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't finished watching that yet.
Korra's amazing. We should do a show about that.
We are.
Oh, baby.
That's on the list too. But
there's
yeah.
There's a lot of characters. What did you think of I'm reading his name right now. Richard Coyle, the guy that plays Faustus, Father Blackwood, basically.
Oh, wow. He was intense, I just gotta say it. I was like, wow. He was kind of like, you don't want to follow his lead. You want to follow him in the beginning, but like in the middle of it towards the end, you really don't want to follow it. And at the end, it's like really confusing, and you're just like going with it because you're like, I don't know what he's gonna do now. So I don't know. I thought it was intense.
Those nails, though. The entire time. Every time he'd pop up, I'd be like, oh, those nails. Do something about those nails, my dude, please.
Dude, I think his character had the most left field plots out of all of them.
He did.
It was kind of like, what? Where did that come out of? Like the whole giving birth and all that stuff. I was like, what? And then the whole reason why they chose Spellman to be, and there's just so much that came out of left field.
It's like, what? Wait, had two, he said. Oh, right, you only have one. It's like, oh, what? I'm just confusing. I was like, what? That's very left field. I say loopholes because you go with it. It's just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going with it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you kind of suspend belief on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And I will give this warning to anybody that hasn't seen the show. You gotta just go in it expecting okay show. Don't go in it expecting this grandiose, amazing show, because then it's gonna be underwhelming for you.
Actually, I don't know. I came in super excited for the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I saw the first episode the day it came out, and I was enamored like from the start. Like it's not this like the end all be all of shows, but I liked it from the beginning.
But also, you knew what you were getting into.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was getting into.
I didn't either, but I think that's one of the best ways.
Amber never said, what do you give the show?
I want to say a 6 or a 7. I don't want to say 8 because I wasn't as enamored as you were. I mean, I would watch it again eventually, just like pieces of it. Some of it I was confused by some episodes, but I'll give probably a 6 or a 7, really.
I like it. It definitely was a nice. It's not like a Haunting of Hill House. Which, by the way, if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that episode right now. Shameless plug. The first episode of our new show. Actually, no, is that the first episode?
Yes, it is. That's the first episode.
Hey,
first episode of Candlelit Blowjobs.
Candlelit Blowjobs. Without any context, God, Amber's probably like, "What is that?"
No, it's okay. I'll watch it all the way soon.
I don't know. I wanted as much. This show came out the Friday before Thanksgiving, alongside Castlevania Season 2, which I just started.
Halloween?
What did I say?
You said Thanksgiving. I was like, no, not yet.
My bad. My bad.
Okay, he's thinking about food already. That's what it is.
My bad. Yes, I am a fat piece of shit.
He's craving that pork, man. That pork.
No, sorry. So it came out the Friday before Halloween, alongside Castlevania Season 2, and I just wanted as much media like that was horror related as possible to kind of just be in the mood. This is definitely not like I said earlier, definitely not a Haunting of Hill House. That is a much better show, but it was fun. This is a show that you don't take serious.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
And I've seen pieces of Riverdale, and this is where my skepticism came in when I started watching the show, because I've seen Riverdale and I watched maybe about half of the first season, and I was like, I'm bored. This is really bad. So I was like, I'm off, and I was like, all right. When they started comparing this one to Riverdale, I'm like, all right. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. This is a lot better.
I'll disagree with you. I never finished the first season of Riverdale. I watched halfway of it. I don't know why I stopped watching it, but it's like a guilty pleasure show. It's definitely not fantastic, but it's enjoyable. Now,
I felt like I was watching Dawson's Creek. That's what
hey man, don't you dare talk anything about Dawson's Creek. That and Felicity, that's the one that my mom used to watch.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that.
God. No, what I wanted to ask you guys is, do you think that they will do a crossover event between Riverdale and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina at one point? If Sabrina continues, in more seasons, if they continue it.
I don't know. I didn't get to watch all of Riverdale yet. I'm still working on it. I just can't get past the drama. Kind of like this one had a lot of drama to it. I can't get past the drama yet of Riverdale. But I'm almost there. I'm halfway through like you.
Riverdale is just it's a shitty CW show.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
You want a very over-the-top dramatic teen soap opera? Watch Riverdale.
It's like Angel and what do you call it? Sabrina is Buffy. That's what I compare it to.
Yeah.
No, but I actually think, I don't know how it would happen, because like, for instance, they could do crossover events, but usually if they do that, it's that all the shows are on one channel. For instance, like Flash and Arrow, they do crossover events, and Supergirl, but those are all on the same show. How would it work since Sabrina's on Netflix and Riverdale's on CW?
Netflix will buy CW's show.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I don't think CW would give that shit up.
It's the ratings on that are not that great.
I thought Riverdale's doing really good.
No.
It's actually doing really good with franchise and all. I see a lot of it at Hot Topic. I remember advertised every time online. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, hey, watch the rest of it.
But it's kind of one of those underground things that kind of, it's the same thing that
has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, dude.
Yikes.
An 89, 1% less than Sabrina.
Yeah, no. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. But I want to throw this warning out there, because a lot of people that I know have gone and started watching this with their kids.
Oh, wow.
If you want to traumatize your child, maybe.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Okay.
I would put it at PG-13, and it's a good PG-13. You want to stick to that PG-13 rating.
Yeah, this is definitely not as violent as some other Netflix original shows.
It's not violent, but it's graphic in some things.
It's like my friend and I were talking about earlier. I think it was yesterday. We were talking about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's TV-14, which means it's above PG-13. It's close to rate R or MA, and I'm like, they would push for R and A and MA, and they would push a little bit more. It'd been better if they took away a bit and left it PG-13. It would have been better to me, but it's just a lot of drama. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's much drama for a TV-14 film. I'm like, oh my gosh, like a show altogether. I'm like, whoa, blew me away.
Man,
but definitely will scare your kids a bit.
Yeah. That final scene when Wardwell takes her face off.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was so cool.
I was like, yo, wow, this got real quick.
I paused that a couple of times and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I grew up watching Tom Savini, Creep Show, and all that stuff, so that's like my forte, and that's my like wheelbarrow right there, is horror, cheesy horror movies that are like really cool graphic stuff, like Dead Alive and all that. I love
that. Actually, her face remind me of They Live. You know that? I don't know why.
Yeah,
they're reminding me of that.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up, since Amber sent the message earlier about the
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Sorry, thank you.
No, you're good.
I was like, what's the word? Easter eggs. Because I caught a couple, but then there were a lot in the list that you sent that I was like, wow, I never would have caught that.
I caught a lot of those, and I didn't even know that.
In the first episode, when they watch Night of the Living Dead, when he's like, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, I saw that from
the crop top. The Johnny Depp crop top.
I noticed that. I was like, oh man, really? That style.
And the Suspiria references. I love Suspiria, so that was like, yes.
I've actually never seen Suspiria. I need to.
Blasphemy.
I know. I know. And have you? No, actually, the remake, is it out already?
Yeah, it just came out.
Okay, gotcha. Have you seen it?
No, not yet. I've heard okay things.
Okay.
The original is classic. It's untouchable. Untouchable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like so many references. They're back.
Yeah.
The vomiting.
That was a little stretch though. I was like, okay, I caught it, but I'm like, it's not the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same, but I caught it. I was like, what? We're back.
The vomit, one of my least favorite episodes is definitely the one with the uncle when he's possessed, and one of them is from there when he does the throw up.
That was actually pretty cool.
I was like, whoa!
It's an Exorcist right on the spot. I'm like, oh, it's Exorcist. Oh, it's disgusting. I thought, okay, just remind me that.
There's just so many. There's a couple movies on that list that I haven't seen, so I was like, I wouldn't get this reference. Like the Suspiria ones.
Rosemary's Baby, that matched so well.
No, that I have, but like Suspiria, like the whole like the stained glass on some of the doors or wallpaper.
It looks so good. Like,
right?
How'd you miss that?
Yeah. No, but since I haven't seen the movie, I wouldn't know that like, oh, that's the same, wallpaper as Suspiria. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like reading the list, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that, but sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, there's some good, fun, classic horror movie references in here. There's honestly, there's a lot more that I remember catching, but I didn't list it out or don't remember it honestly because my memory's shit. But
old man.
A lot of references in there, dude. There's a lot. And there's actually a fun one of Dead Alive where Harvey's drawing something and it looks like the baby from Dead Alive. And I was like, yes, awesome.
Oh my god. This guy's like a little kid now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like we're definitely coming up to the end, like we're running out of things to talk. I wanted to ask you guys, if they bring this back for season 2, what do you think they're gonna do?
Oh, I don't know.
So I feel like definitely they're gonna have to figure out a way to get Sabrina's name out of the book of what's it called?
The Dark Lord's book. I really don't know. All I know is the book.
I think it's going to be the whole adventure of her like trying to take over the 3 sisters or whatever, and become the head one of the coven. Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
I think so.
I don't think so, man. I feel like the show, she's gonna want to get back. I feel like Sabrina right now is not the person that she is. Basically, she's been tainted. You know, she looks all cool with her silver hair and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, it looks badass. Are you kidding?
But I feel like she, at the end of the day, she wants to be half mortal, half witch. So she wants to go back to Harvey, to Roz, to Susie, to lead like that double life. So she's definitely gonna. I feel like the second season, or maybe throughout the next couple seasons, she's gonna be trying to figure out a way to like maybe reverse her signing her name in the Devil's Book. Also, she's definitely gonna, I don't know, kill Wardwell or Lilith, whatever, or kill. Who's the antagonist? Is it the devil or her?
I really don't know.
What's going on?
Like,
who's the antagonist here?
Just saying your name, less drama, and then we went straight to the point. It would be interesting plots, less loopholes. I feel like if you were saying your name, it made less drama. I feel like it would have been. But that's just me. I'd be like that. If I watched a scary movie, you should have said your name.
I think something's gonna happen with Lilith in the next season, and it's gonna basically she's gonna get double crossed by the devil, and she's gonna be thrown out of hell, and she's gonna become like a tainted witch or whatever, and do something with the Spellmans.
Oh my god! You think she's gonna become a good guy? Are you kidding?
Oh
me?
yeah, I do. I saw that from the beginning.
Oh my god! Kill me, please! Don't do that show, please. Just whatever. Just don't do that. I'd rather her be the bad guy than the devil. You know that?
No, she's not going to be the devil. She's going to be the what?
No. I'm not saying that she's going to be the devil. I'd rather her be the antagonist of the show than the actual devil.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I know what you mean. Like, oh, how can anybody be more important than the devil? Hey, man, watch Supernatural. They kill the devil in season 4. Spoilers. There's 10 more seasons after that. You know.
Well, that's a show that lost its direction a long time ago.
But
they're floating everywhere.
The entire show, you're like, oh, the devil's the bad guy, and Wardwell is like helping him because she's, you know, part of his posse or whatever. And then right at the basically the last 5 minutes of the show, you're like, oh, but she doesn't even like him. She just wants to do her own thing. I'm like, who's the bad guy here? Yeah, that just threw me off real bad. It was just funny though. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else? I feel like I've hit everything.
Yeah, I hit everything too.
Yeah, you kind of said it all. I don't know if there's another season. I just hope that Sabrina leaves Harvey because I really feel like she's better than Harvey now. Now she's way better than Harvey. She has silver hair. She's with the whole group that she always wanted to be in that clique. I feel like she should just leave Harvey. I feel like he's below her, and he wants to turn on her, and she's terrified of him. I don't think she should be with him. If you're scared of a dude that much, you shouldn't be with him. Let's be honest.
Oh, I felt like that. I was like, do you think they're gonna dive more into like the whole that Harvey's family is witch hunters?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I hope they do, because I'll be totally twisted.
Yeah, I will. Like, can you imagine Harvey's actually trying to kill her or something like that?
Like, awesome.
So
yes, I'd be so on board with that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
100%.
It's a cool show. It's definitely nothing out of this world, but Sabrina's The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a fun show.
It actually wasn't too bad. It was entertaining by far. Even if there's drama, it's entertained me a lot. Like, I couldn't look away because I want to know. I want to keep going. And then when it ended, I'm like, oh, that's all, man. I want to see more.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually screamed at the TV a couple times. That's whole scene where Sabrina walks in on the orgy in the attic. Yes. I was like, dude, hook up with Nicholas. Come on, dude. You gotta.
You like Nicholas? You like Nicholas?
Oh, dude, he's a freaking badass. He's like Ambrose, like a straight version of Ambrose.
Like, seriously, he is. Like, I feel like Sabrina should have been with him right after that. Like, you should honestly go with him, see if he's better, and if maybe then maybe Harvey will gain more like character. I feel like Harvey was kind of like the teenage witch one. He was kind of like he was distant. At random, he'll go like mad about it, like scary, and then he's distant again. That's like, so his character wasn't too strong for me. I don't know. I feel like Nicholas was big. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I feel like they'll be together. She's gonna go with Nicholas in the next season.
Oh, I think so too.
I definitely don't think that she's gonna be with Harvey for like at least until like season 3 or even later than that, if the show continues.
Or maybe later. Maybe gets more character. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think that season 2 might be her finding herself, joining the Coven of Three and trying to take over the Coven of Three. I think they're going to go down the Mean Girls route of it, and that's what they're going to be doing, honestly, for the next season.
Tell me more about that witch life, dude, in school, though. I want to see mean people in school. Like, I want to see some mean girls in the witch's school.
Exactly. How badass would that be, dude? How badass would that be? And I want to see that, and then at the end of the season, her kind of come into her own and say, fuck y'all, I'm out. I'm going to the half and half, side, and just completely dip on the witches and do what she wanted to do at the beginning.
And definitely they need to elaborate more, which I know was just setting up for more seasons, but they need to elaborate what happened to Sabrina's parents and why when she sees her in limbo, her mom says that they took her away after baptizing her.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming. Yeah, that's setting up for definitely. They were like, all right, we'll plant this seed. Hopefully we get a season 2.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess, at the moment, but then after we stop recording, I'm going to be like, shit, should have brought that up.
Now, there's another thing when you were talking about that right then that I do want to see season 2 if there is one. I want to see what happens to the baby because there's supposed to be twins.
Yeah.
She took the other babies. Baby's going to be killed by them. So she's like, she took them. Like, took the little one. It's like, is it a girl? The firstborn was a girl or something like that, and they took her?
Yeah, it's a girl.
I want to know. I want to know what happens to her. I'm like, what happened to her? I don't know.
I don't know.
They're going to tie in Sabrina the Teenage Witch past with this one, and that's what Teenage Witch is going to be. Oh, that would be so cool.
Oh, wow.
No, okay, wait. So it's Sabrina. This is Sabrina, the baby Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but she also happens to find another guy that's named Harvey Kinkle to be her boyfriend.
Maybe he becomes immortal. Who knows?
It's Harvey Kinkle's son, and he names him after himself.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Dun dun dun, and the plot thickens.
So yeah, definitely go check out Sabrina. It's a fun time.
Yeah, honestly, thank you guys for having this conversation. Amber Love, again, check her out on Instagram, you said, right?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. And Brandon, like always, we're always having this conversation and always doing these little random snippets. We started our new show, Candlelit Blowjobs. This is basically...
I love that name so much.
Right? It's going to catch a lot of people's attention, I'll tell you that much. But honestly, this is an in-depth review on shows that we really want to just talk about, and it's just an intimate little affair that we have, and you got to check it out. It's something out of the ordinary. It's something unusual. So please check it out. And of course, every week we do a episode on Friday that we talk about movies that are streaming on the networks, every network that's streaming. So check it out. Again, this is Man Bites Media, and thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.